This is American Idol. Where are they now? So, it's been 2 years since you were on American Idol. What have you been doing since then?
You know, I just released my third album called Trust You, and I'm working on my fourth.
That's great. So, what song inspired you the most while on American Idol?
It was actually called Judicial Review. It was the week where the theme was court cases. At first it was super difficult to pick a case because I'm totally not trained in that, but it was really cool to look at it with a musical perspective.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
You know, yeah, I knew I was going to be asked the background of this case when I was on Oprah too. Since I'm not an expert, I didn't know too much, but I wanted to be prepared. So I looked at the case that the song was written about and other expert opinions.
Well, what's the case?
The song that the case was based off of is AYAT versus Planned Parenthood of Northern New England. This was a 2006 Supreme Court case about abortion. Planned Parenthood wanted to repeal a New Hampshire law that made minors get parental notification 48 hours before having an abortion. Planned Parenthood brought it to the lower courts. The First Circuit ruled that the law was unconstitutional because it inflicted an undue burden on the minor.
So, I remember you talking about some of that stuff on Oprah. Can you tell us about it now, too?
Yeah, actually that was a huge reason why I started looking it up, because of Oprah. But the first case was a 1973 case, Roe v. Wade. There were actually 3 cases that this was based off of. In Roe v. Wade, the Supreme Court decided that abortions would be made legal after a certain point. It wasn't before that. They decided this from the 14th Amendment in the Constitution. This basically gives a right to privacy, and this extends to a woman's right to have a baby, to decide if she even wants to have it. So they decided that this extended to the ability to have an abortion on the fetus up to the point where the baby would be able to survive outside of the woman's tummy. The second was a 1992 Supreme Court case called Planned Parenthood v. Casey. The justices decided that parental consent and a 24-hour waiting period were constitutional when having an abortion. They also decided that making her husband give her permission is not constitutional. This is because he could actually resort to physical abuse once he decided that he didn't like her having an abortion, or he didn't want her to have a baby. And that's bad. So in that case, they used the term undue burden, which played into AYAT v. Planned Parenthood as well. Although in AYAT, they only looked at if parental consent is constitutional, not spouse's consent or the 24-hour waiting period with other things. Oh boy. And then the last is a 2000 case called Stenberg versus Carhart. The Supreme Court ruled in AYAT that there needed to be a health exception. That idea was mostly originated from Stenberg versus Carhart.
Wow, you do seem to know a lot about this. Do you think you missed your calling?
Well, thank you, but no, I could never do this as a living. This one case is enough for me.
Is that all you told Oprah about?
No, I actually also talked about how the case came to the Supreme Court and what happened when it got there.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, of course. Planned Parenthood brought it to the lower courts because they wanted the Parental Notification Act removed. They won the case, but then AYAT appealed it to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court can only take cases that have actual disputes between people. They can't take hypothetical cases. Since Planned Parenthood didn't have any actual cases of women with health concerns, the Supreme Court decided that they couldn't step in and make the decision. They unanimously decided to send it back down to the lower courts, agreeing that there were health concerns with this law, but disagreeing that the law should be revoked completely.
Let me stop you there for a second. You stressed the word unanimously. Is that a big deal?
It's a huge deal. Who is on the Supreme Court for the case can change the outcome completely. Different justices can have a completely different opinion. In that case, since it was a unanimous decision, it might not matter who is on the court because it's such a big deal. It is a huge statement that everyone agreed. Everyone agreed that it was the right thing to do.
That's interesting. So they decided, unanimously, to send it down to the lower courts. What did the lower courts decide?
Yeah, they decided to still repeal the act.
Well, what did you think about that?
I don't agree with it. When I was reading about all this stuff, one of the friends of the court cases said that a minor cannot even get their ears pierced without parental consent, or take an aspirin at school. If they can't even do that, then why should they be able to get a major surgery without consent either?
All right, well, now I feel like someone in politics, not American Idol. Do you think that the Supreme Court should have made the decision since you think that the lower courts made the wrong one?
No, I think that they made the right decision to send it back down to the lower courts. I don't think it was in their power. They gave direction and then sent it down.
All right, thank you. That was a very inspirational song with a very interesting background. Thanks, Celeste. It was good seeing you again. And when we get back from our commercial break, we'll hear from Carrie Underwood live at American Idol.
Hey guys, this is Celeste. Just wanted to show you the song that inspired me the most. It's called Judicial Review. It changed my life. Who take the boundaries